I get a roll call?
Alderman Garver,
Aye.
Alderman Keck, Alderman Rozalski, Mayor Pro Tem Price.
Stand and pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, there's just want to make sure everybody signed in on the sheet over there. Just information there. So, all right. So everyone has a chance to review tonight's agenda. Are there any additions or deletions for tonight's agenda?
Yes, there is. We have two additions of special board meeting, February 18th and February 27th, to be reviewed and approved.
I'd entertain a motion to accept tonight's agenda with the two additions. Motion.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Ayes, carry. And if we could look at the minutes from the previous meeting, including the special board meeting that was held on February 18th and the board meeting from February 27th. Those are two dates. And the board meeting from February 11th.
Rochelle,
Yes.
what is it? February 11th. 3B. It's RO. KO.
Name.
KOW.
Noted.
I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the February 11th. I'm sorry, dates. February 11th, February 18th, and February 27th meeting minutes with the correction from the February 11th meeting.
Make a motion.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, did everybody get a chance to look at the bills? Are there any questions on the bills?
What was the lady with the plan?
What?
Lady with the plan?
That is Mike Cherry. He actually came in and did the inspections and things while Tim was out for
Okay.
surgery.
Any questions on that? Okay, so move on to the financials. right, if there's no questions on the financials, I entertain a motion to accept those.
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, let's move on to public comments. Tonight we have Barb Keating wanting to talk to us about the fairground fees. So Barb, you have the floor if you want to come get the microphone. So
Hello. Do I have to stand anywhere certain?
wherever you'd like, as long as they can hear you on the microphone.
All right, I'm Barb Keating. I've been in Winfield area for over 30 years. Been doing the Free Kids Easter egg hunt, camp food drive up at the elementary. This year we can't do it because of the COVID stuff. So I had put an application in to see if I could use the fairgrounds for the afternoon, and they were going to get back with me on how much, and then they said they were going to charge me $100, and I kind of wanted to appeal that because it's a free event and for the community. So
Okay. And it's $100 because you don't live within city limits, correct?
I guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
I'm Winfield mailing.
Right,
but
right.
I'm not in the city.
Okay. So normally we charge $100 for non-city limit residents and then 55 for in-city residents for the fairgrounds. What are any discussion on thoughts on that?
My only concern is because we've charged people out of city limits before, just like the tattoo parlor over in Troy. They came, even with their event was free, and they still had $100 fee for it. So that's my concern. If we're gonna do it for just one person, we're gonna be doing it for a lot of people are gonna come and appeal.
Well, I'm kind of
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
to be able to go back to the elementary next year, but I mean, because that's where I've been doing it forever. But I mean, if you could at least meet me half of that, because I've even gotten the city to donate, towards it for the fund, for the Easter egg hunt before too. It's just been a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Bobby that, we don't, the fairgrounds is one thing that we can charge for and we can use for other events that we have in the city.
Mhm.
And I do kind of agree with Bobby and Dawn that if we waive it for you, then people are going to be coming left and right and wanting us to waive it for everyone. And, that is, because it's not just about a fee. I mean, our public works guys have to be down there to prepare the field. So we're paying an hourly rate to them. Then you've got use of the bathrooms. Well, somebody has to maintain those bathrooms, which again is our public works department. So, you know, what?
Barb, I got your number, right? Yes.
We're going to go ahead. I'm going to say no.
Okay. Well, let me know what's going on.
Okay.
Most definitely.
I have an application in for that day though.
Okay, great. Thank you, Barb.
Not a problem, honey.
Thanks for coming. All right, so let's move on to old business. We don't have anything on old business, correct?
We do not.
All right, let's move on to new business, water department. Rachel.
All righty. So for the report for
the March board meeting. We have service sold as of January the 26th, 53,644.23. Payments received February 1st through the 28th was 46,026.19. We collect 541.01 in late fees, 162.47 in reconnect fees, and that was the only additional collection that we had that month. No street lights to report either.
Alrighty. Our monthly PD report, unfortunately, Chief wasn't able to be here tonight, so let me just read over. Okay, so with our PD, Sergeant Lancy is attending a first line supervision class this week. Insurance risk management auditor recommended adding a refrigerator, temporary evidence storage for items that need to be refrigerated, frozen. She also recommended reviewing paper records and destroying any records that were out of retention schedules as dictated by the Secretary of State. Both of these items have been completed. MoDOT grant applications were completed and submitted for the fiscal year of 2022. Patrol Officer Phillips is progressing through field training and is currently in the third phase of his training, and obtained 2 sets of federal signal stinger tire deflation systems. 2 patrol vehicles will be equipped with these items once I have completed the policy and training for them. So that's what's going with our PD. So Public Works.
As far as inspections go, we issued a fence permit. One occupancy inspection and certificate were issued, a total of 3. Year to date, we're up to 7, which is 2 fence permits, 2 inspections, and 2 certificates. Oh, one of them was commercial. And as far as I'm working on updating our building codes from 2009 to 2015. I'll get them to you as for approval once I complete the reviews. I wanted to get your all's opinion on that. Do you want me to bring your code? Do you want me to do all the codes all at once? Adopted them. You guys will get them and have however long you want to review them, but I don't know if you want me to bring them to you as I finish them or bring them all.
What is more beneficial for you? Because you said it takes about 2 months to get it, each one.
Well, it would.
Okay. What do you guys think? Do you want him to bring the codes individually as he's completed them, or do you want him to wait until he's got everything?
Wouldn't be such an overload on you guys because building code is probably 4 or 5 pages long.
I'd say the individual.
Individually? Okay.
Schools started their projects. They got 4 going on. Busy. Everything went great with the review. And then we're about a month out from our little project. Getting Joe and Jim and doing a lot of ins and outs, getting our stuff ready. And we're letting the water fly right now.
Wonderful. Alrighty. Okay. Planning and zoning update. Oh, I don't care. I can do it. So Ms. Sitton wasn't able to be here tonight. So the review is, at the regular previous meeting, commissioners were signed sections of East Winfield and Eagles Bluffs to verify, to verify zoning, will zone what is currently there. If a trailer is on the lot, then it was zoned mobile. If a house was in the location, it was zoned residential. Reviewed and rezoned zoning map. This will go for public hearing before the April meeting. Any empty lots that were over there were zoned as residential. Art Wickham and Mr. Chastain rezone applications were included in this review and will be rezoned to what they are going to do with the property, which is both mobile. So Both of those will be zone mobile. Karen presented the sign ordinance for commissioners to review and will bring back to the April meeting. So that concludes that. So earlier this week, we had a meeting with Meridian and Angie is here. Angela, is Angie or Angela? And okay, Angie's here with Meridian. And so I'm going to kind of turn this over to Rochelle and let her touch base. It was requested that we kind of look into what other options we might have for trash service, but we wanted to kind of touch base with Meridian and let them know some of our concerns. So Rochelle?
So yes, we did have a meeting with Angie and voiced a lot of our complaints and everything. As you guys know, residents have been very unhappy and things of that nature. Angie expressed that she's been in her position, I believe it was 5 or 6 months at this point. I did check at other options. I also checked into what those other options mean, and that is a very large overhaul that in likely terms that our residents will be pretty disshuffled for a very long period of time while totes are moved and others dropped off and everything. And with getting with Angie, and she actually took the initiative to reach out to me. Some of the things that were addressed, I'm basically just going to read the email in which she answered most of them. So the roll-off charges that we were getting in reference to the tearing down, the demolition of the homes and everything has been corrected, and she's taking care of that. So the roll-off charges moving forward are going to be adjusted. And if you want to look at the pricing, I think the pricing is something that we'll just keep in this email for the aldermen and things to see. So residents that currently subscribe for service will receive a trash and recycle card at no charge. Currently, we are charged $3 per tote. So in retrospect, what happens is we no longer are being charged for those totes. So those are going to be rolled into that. I know that issues with the drivers and things have been brought up quite a bit. Tim and I spoke, and Mayor writes that we are very pleased with the current driver. We have gotten great reviews on him, and they have left him on our route. I can also tell you that Monday after close of business, I received a text message from a resident to where there was glass that was in a cul-de-sac in multiple places. I can tell you within 20 minutes, I immediately contacted Angie, and within 20 minutes, there was someone out there cleaning it up. And she is addressing that as well. So all the issues that we've had with the handling of the totes, not just our residents' totes, but their totes. Angie has said that is something she has taken to operations and things of that nature, because as disheartening as it can be for us to get a broken tote, that costs them money when they break their tote. So it's definitely an issue that she does want to hear about. And she has given me quite a bit of, as you guys can see in the email, to think about. And I know with doing the research and the different things, that my recommendation is that we continue our contract with them and let it renew into the upcoming contract. We have it to where it automatically does it as long as we permit it to.
Angie, did you want to add anything?
Rachel.
Any questions for Angie? All right, well, I would entertain a motion to continue Meridian services or.
You can.
No. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Just that there had been a lot of issues with, what were we saying, Donna? Couldn't hear you. I'm
Just
sorry.
trash in the street and glass in the street. We've had that actually a couple different. Their bins have been destroyed actually by Meridian, not themselves. And it wasn't even damaged by them. Hopefully they would be able to address that with Michelle, and then we shall be able to bring it to you.
Absolutely.
So now you said that we won't be charged for totes at all.
Right. So moving forward, everyone, every resident within city limits will get a free tote.
Okay.
So
And then if it's damaged, how would that work for them?
if it's caught on fire, you know, if there's something like that. But regular wear and tear, broken wheels, broken legs, those aren't things that we would take care of. That's not anything that the resident would have to worry about.
All good?
We're under new management now.
So do I hear a motion to accept this, or? Motion by Joe. Second, do I get a second? All right. No. What do you think, Bobby?
Better interest to do.
The other ones that I looked into couldn't supply the amount of roll-offs and everything that they can. And the undertaking was huge. We can always place it out to bid and see what happens. That's totally up to you guys. But our renewal's coming up to where
Right.
we have the option just to let it go and go forward
And how long is this?
5 years.
5 years?
There's no second, then. All those in favor?
Aye.
All righty. Thank you, Angie, for coming out tonight.
Thank you. No problem.
Okay, so our next item on the agenda is the Board of Adjustments. And I don't know if you guys, do you remember the Board of Adjustments? So in the event that something was presented to planning and zoning and it was voted down by planning and zoning, it would come to the board. And if the board
Mhm.
voted down, then the Board of Adjustments is kind of a last dance for the resident to bring their concerns. And the Board of Adjustments, kind of their say is final. It kind of supersedes over what the board says. So we're at the time where we need to appoint a new Board of Adjustments. It's usually made up of 5 members with 2 backups. One member term is 1 year, the second or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years. The mayor and the board can appoint these members. You can also have an alderman that's kind of a liaison on the Board of Adjustments. They don't have a voice or a voting bit in it. They're just kind of a sit-in. So I know Rochelle was working on So Rochelle's got a few people that she's talked to that have shown some interest, so we need to probably get that set up as soon as possible. So so if we have people, would we just bring them to you and eventually you'll like,
They will actually come to the board. So whether Dawn has a few people or Joe has, I mean, we could have 20 people standing here that's being presented. But typically the mayor does kind of bring it together and then the
Okay.
board appoints.
okay. So, all right, well, I would, we do have some closed session items that we need to go into, correct? So I would entertain a motion to take a 5-minute break. And then we'll come back and move into closed session. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I guess that should have been in public comments. Should have been. Before we do that, sorry, Bill. Bill Ahol, if you wanna update us with what is going on with our sewer project. Sorry. Backtrack a little bit.
Okay, so the, order, the contractor is getting ready to mobilize on the project, doing everything that they're doing. Their contracts, the city, as probably don't know, signed the contract first. City signed a contract on March 1st, which released the contractor to start doing his contracts, his subcontractors, vendors, etc. That's preparation to get ready to go to work. So he continues with that. He is working on a final logistics plan and a site phasing plan, how they're going to do this and keep the current plant in operation. Tim has seen that, the first phase of that, or the first draft of that, and commented, and I sent comments back to them about the logistics, working around the field, what's going to be fenced off, how it's going to be fenced off, and so forth. They are responding to those comments, and I expect them to have the final plan back with those comments addressed. Thought it might have been today, but certainly tomorrow, and then I will send it over to Miko, and this is all in preparation for the pre-construction meeting, which we have scheduled for the 15th in the afternoon at 2:00, be a Zoom meeting. The closing for the financing is set up as a Zoom meeting for the 9th of April. That's the actual notice to proceed for the contractor to move on site. The contractor has told me verbally that they plan to commence construction by mid-April, weather permitting. So that's right around the 9th or mid-April. And they have also said that they hope the project could be done in as few as 7 months, which would get them done in this construction season prior to Thanksgiving, which would be advantageous since this nature of the project.
That'd be wonderful.
The only other thing that notable at this point is the new plant's going to need a permanent larger electric service. Met with Ameren and discussed that with them, and they have staked where that's going to go, and they've established that they would probably start working on that about mid-April, but that's going to coincide with the contractor. Contractor needs temporary electric, which he will get off that. So they're essentially installing the temporary service, but it's the permanent for the plant. So that's the way they'll do it, and there's no cost to the city for that.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
they're working on that. Like I say, Ameren staked it, and fees have been paid by the contractor for his service. So essentially, they just need to go to work. I reviewed that with Tim yesterday on site, so he's aware of where the poles are and what has to be done and stuff like that. So
That's about all that can be done at this point. They've started doing their normal submittals of equipment and things. That's going to get rolling. They've sent one item to Jim today. So that process has started
Okay.
and will continue. So we're, I think, as far as we can be at this point, but should start seeing something happening by mid-April,
Okay.
weather and ground permitting, and get this thing going.
And you said the April 15th is a pre-construction meeting and that's a Zoom meeting.
The 9th is actually, well, our pre-construction meeting, which I call the technical meeting, is the 15th of this month. And
Okay.
that's when there are things that the engineer had in their design that they wanted to see, and then how are they gonna pump down the lagoons and do the earthwork and keep
Okay.
everything running? How are they gonna work around the athletic fields? Where's the
Okay.
fencing gonna be? That's on the map and everything. So they're gonna kind of go through what their plans are.
Okay.
And that's on the 15th, and that's just a normal preparation to get started with construction.
Okay.
The meeting on the 9th is really kind of closing on your money.
Okay.
And with the USDA rules, that meeting has to be held, and then USDA would give a formal notice to proceed to the contractor.
Okay.
But that's not holding anything up at this point because we've been doing this other work. They're going to be ready, I believe, the way they're talking and the way they're moving. They'll be ready to start on site right after the 9th. The 9th
Okay.
is a Friday, so 15th is the month. So things should start moving. They'll have their schedule at the pre-construction meeting next week. So we'll see what they're thinking is going to happen when and everything else.
Okay.
So obviously there could be some things that don't work with the plant that way, but Tim's seen the draft of their phasing plan and he didn't have any comments that wouldn't work. So
Okay.
looks like that's fallen into place.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as I get it back from them with the comments that the city had, yeah, you'll be getting, everybody on the call will get a copy of that so that they'll know what we're talking about. Nothing will be hit cold. So, yep.
Okay.
It's gone back and forth a couple times with me to just get it in shape. So that's where we're at. It's like I say, it's where it can be at this point with the bidding phase and everything else. So.
All right.
Any questions? Anyone?
Nope, I don't think so. Do you guys have any questions? Just keep that line of communication back and forth. Make sure each other is including every email that you send needs to be sent to
Right.
everyone. So that's the main thing. No, I don't. Does anybody else have any questions? Tim, do you want to add anything to it or? I know, I'm excited to get it going. So, all right, well then I would again make a, I would entertain a motion to take a quick recess and then go into closed session.
Make a motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, don't have to read that thing at the bottom. All right. I don't understand this. Just sorry, okay. According to RISMO 610.021, closed meetings and closed records authorized when except to the extent disclosure is otherwise required by law, a public governmental body is authorized to close meetings, records, and votes to the extent that relate to the following: personnel and what? An auditor. All right? All right.